What up, though? This is Landing on Mars podcast, and I'd like to welcome you back. I am your host, Nesto on Mars, Nesto the Spitter. Call me whatever, just don't call me lazy. You dig? But now welcome back. Welcome back. Hope everybody out there's having a wonderful day. Today is Friday, the 23rd. So payday for some people. You dig? Payday for me. You dig? All bills are paid. So yeah, we're being responsible out here. So make sure you're taking care of responsibilities and just real quick, just trying to get back in the rhythm of everything. Um, Me personally, I've been pretty busy with a lot of things, trying to get some beats together so I could finish up. Hopefully, I don't want to say it's gonna be my last album, but I'm so much dibbling dabbling and so much other things that when it comes to the music, I love music and I will always love music, but I don't think necessarily that my heart is still still telling me like, hey, yo, let's put a song together, let's do this, let's do that. And like I said, not necessarily saying goodbye to the music. Still, of course, we'll spit a couple of verses. Still do something for some homies. Shout out to the homie Travis T. He had sent me a track that I need to actually record. So hopefully, when I'm done with the podcast, I could jump in the studio and do that real quick for him. But yeah, man, like the scheduling with having I have some really awesome interviews coming up. I have a lot of people. I've talked to a couple of CEOs that I got in contact with that I want to bring them on here, told them about the podcast, and they're so willing to do it. So now it's just me getting time, schedules, getting everything pretty much put together. And of course, I let my fiance know what's going on because, like I said, I can't just be out there doing what I got, like doing whatever. And at this, like I said, at this particular point, we moving forward with it. And like I said, just meeting new people, contacting new people, you know what I mean, communicating with new people, and just pretty much networking, like networking and letting people know that what I want to bring to the table, and hopefully they would want to have a sit down with me at the table. But like I said, there's a lot of big interviews I want to get, and I'm gonna get them. It's just like I said, it's a matter of time. But until then, I have a couple of topics that I could just like necessarily talk about by myself. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. It took me a while, and I'm still in the process of really understanding it. But I like to say R.I.P. to DMX, one of the most influential artists that has ever touched the hip hop scene, ever touched the rap scene, ever touched the battle scene. Like when you think of DMX, you think of someone bigger than just music. Like if you heard his albums, he always said a prayer. He was always really close to God, and that's one thing that a lot of people you hear like Irv Gotti, Swiss Beats, like a lot like these people knew the battle that he was dealing with when he was dealing with it. And of course, like I was telling my fiance, like it's a disease, it's a sickness, it's demons ultimately. Like people deal with so many demons, and they deal with them in so many different ways, whether it's alcohol, whether it's heavy drugs, whether it's like whatever, being a player. Like this shit, that's just what it is. There's so many demons, and there's so many diseases, and there's so many addictions that people can get addicted to. And it's like, so like one thing about DMX, you could never really like you could never, like, I'm not gonna say fault him, but he always gave you who he was. Like he never really held anything behind. He never really hid who he was, and that was the one thing. Like he was always him. And I had just recently, I had took a trip to New Mexico, had some business out there, and on the way up there, I actually heard the podcast that he did, the Drink Champs podcast that he had did. That I heard that episode, and I I heard it, and it was just like, okay, this is what DMX got's coming. And then when I heard when everything happened as far as him passing away, I just like, it was just so surreal to me because, like I said, I like I remember watching the clips to that specific episode, and that was a couple of months before it came out. But like I'm always busy, so I'm always listening to different things. When I listen to Drink Champs, I'm usually on the road, is because those specific podcasts, they're really long, no homo, and I could listen to one for 2 or 3 hours and I'll be good. Get there, get back. So usually when I'm on the road, that's when I decide to listen to those specific like podcasts. So I heard it, and like I said, I got back, and it was a couple of weeks, and then of course, like they announced that there was like, I'm not gonna lie, I think there was a lot of people that were there was a lot of rumors, speculations coming out, like this it happened, it didn't happen, and like I felt like they were playing with his name in the beginning before they actually really announced it, and then of course it came out that they announced that he passed away. And no matter, you could say whatever you want to say about DMX, but he was a real person. He was a person that he gave you him. Like you weren't wondering if you weren't wondering this, you weren't thinking that. You knew what he was bringing to the table. That was him, and as an artist, as someone that in 1 year dropped 2 platinum albums back to back, like, and taking away, not taking nothing away from the music, but also being able to do movies, and also being able to do having a record label, having like bringing a culture, bringing the bike scene. Like when you saw Fast and the Furious, like street racing got introduced. You know what I mean? Like and not specifically to like it wasn't something that was new. It got introduced to the world. So when you saw DMX, you saw like they had biker boys. There was movies that were coming out after this shit. After DMX hit the scene, and like I said, when you saw DMX, you got introduced to the Rough Riders. You got introduced to bike clubs like four wheelers, and there's still people to this day that that's real big for them. That's real big, and that's a big culture, and that's the thing. Like this person wasn't just a small person; he wasn't a small artist. You can listen to his music now, and as gangsta as he is, as a dog, as much of a dog that he is, like you could still see his songs on like movies, and like even movies like just family fun movies. You know what I mean? Like that, like that song "Party Up." It's in like a lot of it's in a lot of movies. And yeah, man, I like to just say R.I.P. to DMX. He was like I said, man, he was a very influential person, and there's gonna always be similarities, but there's never gonna be another DMX. There's never ever gonna be one of those. A lot of people could get influenced off of his music, get influenced off of his style, but just the way that there'll never be another Tupac, there'll never be another Biggie, there will never be another DMX. And I just like to say rest in peace to DMX, and man, like we lost a good one, and rest in peace to Black Rob. And like man, like it's just crazy how many, like a lot of artists just keep falling, and they lived the life. You know what I mean? Like when Black Rob came out, he had everything going with Whoa, that was his breakout hit, and they lived their life. It wasn't something that they didn't live their life. They did, but it's just crazy, man. Cause like when it comes to like the battle, like whether you make it out or whether you don't make it out, it's there's more to it than what people really think. You could be on the outside looking in and not understand a damn thing going on. You could sit there and you could assume and you could say, "Whoa, if this person just did this." It's not that simple. When it comes to an addiction, when it comes to things of that nature, it's never nothing simple. And yes, individuals let that get the best of them, as far as like letting it happen to themselves. And when when you get yourself entangled with that, you never see it coming. by the time you see it, you're already entangled and you're already trying to figure out like, how the hell do I get out of this? Like, how do I escape what's going on? And in the midst of trying to escape, you're still getting yourself deeper in, and addiction. None of that is anything to play with. None of that is anything to mock. And with the mental health, it's you got people out here that are stressing, whether it was like due to the pandemic or even before that, just in general. Like, you could live one specific way for so long that you don't understand everything else going on, and which is fine, like, which is it's fine to understand what's going on. It's like you got to put yourself in somebody's shoes. And a lot of times people were on the outside looking in, judging me, and I never really understood it. And then now when I'm on the outside looking and trying to understand something, 9 out of 10 times I always sit back and it's like, is it important for me to understand that? Does this put any value to my life? Does this make me better? Does this make me this? Does this make me that? Because a lot of times people spend energy on things that is not necessarily supposed to have energy spent on. Like, I can't worry about what anybody else is doing. I can't worry about what this person's doing. I can't worry about what that person's doing. And a lot of times, like they say, it'll be the people right next to you. It'll be the people that shake your hand, the people that give you the hug, that are quicker to talk down and be rude and like belittle somebody. And like I said, man, like I said, like, back to the addiction. And like, ultimately, this episode is just me kind of, like, not venting, but of course, like, I have a platform. And that's the thing. If I could give myself a platform, you anybody could give themselves a platform. This is not rocket science. And even at that, rocket science, you could probably go to school for that. And if you're good at school, then you're gonna learn. And ultimately, everything is learning. And I always tell myself, if I can learn something new every day, then I feel like I'm living, I'm learning. And even though as much as I know, and even though as many years as I've been at where I've been at, I never let another opinion get the best of me. I'm like, I'm open ears, man. Like, I'm out here trying to work smarter, not harder. And like, I've been at my company for 14 years now. And like, that's what, like, I sit back and I tell my fiance, it's like, yo, love, like, we, because now it's not just about me. It's not just me. The single person is out the door, and the engaged person on the road to being married person is right here. And I love it. Like, I love it. I'm glad that I learned everything I learned. I'm glad I learned the lessons. Like, because you could look at losses as, I look at my losses as lessons. I never want to feel like I took a loss. And dealing, like I said, dealing with addiction back, I want to say, like, maybe 2004 to, like, back 2004 area, I would say. I was supposed to be in school, didn't really go to school, but I let something get the best of me. And at that particular time, I felt like, man, like, this is what it's about. And sure enough, like, my dad got locked up. So ultimately, whenever I was doing what I was doing, I did it to have fun. I did it just to enjoy life. Because I don't know if my brother remembers this, but I remember a lot of little things here and there, like little flashbacks. But I remember one time my brother told me, like, experiment, have fun, enjoy yourself. So that's what I was doing. That's what I did. Like I said, when my dad got locked up, like, I was just partying, I was just having fun, and whatever what I was doing, I started doing it to just have fun. But then when my dad got locked up, that's when I started kind of using it to kind of get me away from what was reality. You know, like my mom was never really there. My my older brother, of course, he went to the military, went to go do his thing, and thank you for that, bro. Really appreciate that, Roy Garcia. Thank you, bro. Salute you. But and like my older sister, she was always like she was in the process of graduating. She was in the process of like getting out of school. She was always responsible. My other brother, he was always just kind of partying as well, but he kind of just partied with his crowd. I partied with my crowd. Of course, we're intertwined every now and then. So yeah, man, it was just ultimately just enjoying life, enjoying partying, just having fun. So it became a frenemy to me, you know, like I let that get the best of me, and like for so many years I was on the path to not possibly being here. And I had a very important person that I lost that helped me get to the point where I'm at, you know, like I never wanted this person to see me in that light. I never wanted anybody to see me in that light, but unfortunately my family did. And you know, my family, they stuck with me, and some of them did, some of them didn't, you know. Like I had a cousin, he was always there for me, and like even when he was like putting me down, he was still there for me. But for me to be here and still be kicking, like I said, the turning point for me is the day that I got kicked out of my aunt Lupe's house. R.P. to my tia Lupe. R.P. Yeah. But the day I got kicked out of her house, I remember my sister telling me like, "Hey, what are you gonna do? What's going on?" And like, it was crazy because like she was there with my niece and my cousins, and she was about to go enjoy her day. And I remember my aunt's like, "Yeah, I don't want him here, this and that," and I'm like, "All right, cool." And like my sister's like, "What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?" And I was just like, "You know what? Let me go. Like, you can't do nothing for me. Let me go." And I never forget her face where she just kind of like and just turned her back and walked away. And from there, I just felt like I was alone. I just felt like I had nothing. But you know, I ended up making my way to San Marcos. San Marcos, you know, shout out to small town, you know, for welcoming me to this city. I've been out here for maybe going at work for like 14 years. I say about 16, 17 years. And so I've been in San Marcos, but yeah, and like I said, when I got down here, you know, I had, like I said, me coming down here, I had, like I said, I had someone that was very important to my life, that helped me be the person that I am. And for a very long time, I was so clouded with negativity. And you know, like I always knew how to hustle, I always knew how to make money, but saving money, that was like for what? You know, like there would be older guys that would be like, "Yo, I'm like, I'm not taking this money when I'm going, I'm out," you know. But for the most part, my mentor and a lot of people that really let me see that, hey, you know, like it's about saving. You gotta make sure you gotta get your credit right. You gotta do things. And you know, I think a lot of what I went through prepared me to be where I'm at now. Like I said, I was single for so long that I didn't know what it was to tell somebody, "Hey, I'm gonna go do this." Like when my fiance really started caring for me, like to me it was kind of scary. But it was scared, I was scared because I felt that if I accepted that, I was gonna end up losing it. You know what I mean? So I was the player on the field that you throw the ball to, but I'm not even thinking about catching the ball. I'm thinking about the touchdown. You know, so I'm just like, you know, I'm thinking way ahead. And I really had to like really calm myself down, and like, you know, like really talk to myself and tell myself like, "Yo, man, like I can't I can't expect that." And then when it happens, I can't be mad about it, if that makes sense. So it was something that I had to do. I had to like really accept. I had to really open up, and I did. Like for me to be here, for me to be able to tell myself that I'm gonna get engaged and I'm gonna like be happy. That was a choice that I made. And when I made that choice, I knew that I didn't want to go back from that. I knew I wanted to be happy because I wanted to make it's good. My bad. My fiance's texting me, but it's good to like it's good to feel good. Like it's always good to feel good, but when you can make people around you feel happy and feel good about themselves, it's always about uplifting. And if you could uplift the next person, then hey, that's all I ever wanted to do. And that's what I always tell my fiance, like, all I ever want to do is just make you happy. All I ever want to do is be the best person I could be, because if I'm being the best person I could be for you, I'm being the best person I could be for myself. And nowadays, like, people are so, like, we live in a microwave era where people want something done right away. People don't want to put the time, people don't want to put the effort. And I'm very blessed that I was able to have time, and I was able to go out with my fiance. We were able to have dates. We were able to do things the right way. And when she told me she had no kids, I was just like, thumbs up. She told me that she wasn't a really big fan of Drake, thumbs up. And nothing against Drake, man, but some people must be so crazy about this. It's like, woo, I am not gonna pay for them tickets. You dig? But yeah. So it was just something like that. I had to really just open up my heart. I had to really tell really make that choice to say, hey, I'm gonna be happy. I'm not gonna pretend be happy, because a lot of times back in the day, I would kind of I don't want to say pretend, but like, I would smile, but I didn't really want to smile. Like, I was the king of the mean mug. Like, I had that mean mug where I never really smiled. Like, you dig? Like, show your ice grill, and so now all the time I'm smiling, and I honestly think that that's what matters. Like, if my fiance could bring me to the point where I could smile and I feel good about myself, that's what I'm gonna do for her. And like I said, coming from what I came from, like, if anybody would have knew me in San Antonio before I actually came to San Marcos, I remember my best friend. I remember him telling me that I was gonna end up dead for either owing somebody money or like overdosing or doing something crazy like that. And like, I remember when I told him about what he told me, he looked at me like, man, I apologize. And it's like, hey, I can't, like, you can't, like, it's okay, you don't have to apologize, because thing though words things like that is what led me to like kind of get out of that. Like, it was harsh, but it's like tough love. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna tell you what you want to hear, I'm gonna tell you what you have to hear. And that's what was given to me. I got tough love. And for me, being able to rise above that and say, hey, I'm not gonna hold no grudges. For what? Why am I gonna hold grudges for someone being real? Makes no damn sense. So that's why, like, if I could get through what I got through, you know I feel like anybody can get through it. It's a battle, an addiction, everything, all of that. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about it. It doesn't matter what the next person thinks about it. All that matters is if you get out of it. There's people care. Like, people are so, like, people always feel so alone. It's hard. It's hard to feel real feelings, like I say nowadays, because it's like, if you don't go support someone, or if you don't go shout somebody out, either like on social media, people are like, oh, you're mad, you're this, you're that, and ultimately you could just be busy. You know what I mean? But I've learned that it's not it's better to not depend on people to help you feel better. Like, I wake up every day, whether it's cloudy outside, I'm gonna have a good day. I wake up every day, if it's raining outside, I'm gonna have a good day. If it's sunny outside, I'm gonna have a good day, because I woke up. There's people that are not waking up. So I don't feel like I should be selfish and complain about the weather. I don't feel like I should be selfish and complain if I get to work late. Well, maybe I should have took off earlier and got there on time. Little things of that nature. And like I've started really recognizing that the sky is blue, the grass is green. Little things of that nature. Because as you get older, you start to see that it's always about the little things. And we lose people every day, and with COVID, people think it's a hoax, people think it's real, and at the end of the day, all you could do is respect people's opinion. If people are for the vaccine, respect it. If people are not for the vaccine, respect it. At the end of the day, what you eat don't make me shit. You dig? Yalla. I got my dogs over here coming in and out. But yeah, man. So you just got like, man, just be positive, man. Ultimately, like I said, my show is to embrace people and to give people their roses, give people the spotlight why they are here. Because why am I gonna tell someone that they motivated me in this way if I never tell them? Why am I gonna tell them when they're gone? Why? Why am I gonna do that? The thing about it is we don't, like I said, we don't give people their roses while they're here. So people always feel like, that's why when you say like people might feel down because someone didn't congratulate them, someone didn't get this from them, all I'm here to do is say, hey, I see it. I'm giving you roses, smell them, inhale them. Because that's all I could do as an individual. If I could make someone smile, if I can make someone laugh, that's what I'm here to do, man. Like I say, we just got to keep living, man. Like I said, in Landing on Mars podcast, we're gonna come back stronger than ever. We're gonna come back with more guests. I got a little feature right here. Should everybody say what's up to Jigs? What's up, Jiggy? Say what's up. Yeah, it's my little man's right here. He always trying to be in the camera, but when his mama here, he nowhere near me. You dig? But yeah, man, I just wanted to chop it up with y'all. I wanted to just give y'all a little 30 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever. Let y'all see some content. I know y'all haven't seen some content, and if y'all want to dig deeper into these conversations, I'm here. I am willing to dig deeper into conversations about mental health, about depression, about whatever you want to talk about. I'm here for it, because if we don't have a conversation, it's never going to get spoken about. And it was funny because I was reading the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, that one of the biggest things that it did is that it took women's health a lot more serious. So now that conversation is being spoken about. So if we could have a conversation, if we could continue going, hey man, that's all we need. And like, let's do it. Because ultimately, like I said, special editions, special episodes, it's probably just gonna be me talking. So like, if anybody out there wants to have a conversation, let's have a conversation. And of course, I'm gonna be bringing y'all CEOs. I'm gonna be bringing y'all very successful people that are actually doing what they have to do, and really starting from the ground up and really moving forward with it. And that's what it is, man. I'm gonna shine the light on those people. Some San Marcos natives, some San Antonio natives, and eventually I'm gonna be branching out to Austin. I already got a couple of people out there. There's a clothing store out there that I've been linking up with, so I'm gonna really try to get them on here as well. So, Landing on Mars podcast, man, it's not over. It's far from over. You dig? But on this beautiful Friday night, I hope everybody out there has a wonderful night. Y'all be safe if you're on the road. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, but I don't know you, so I don't know what you would do, and you don't know what I would do. You dig? But and this is my boy Jigger right here. But y'all have a wonderful night, ladies and gentlemen. This is your boy Nesto, Landing on Mars podcast. Y'all be safe out there. Yalla.